Hi, I'm Marie. I'm an anxiety therapist, and today I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people go through and not many people talk about, and that is the effects of childhood bullying. I've seen a number of people that have had this experience. So bullying in childhood is something that happens to a lot of people, but it has such a long-term effect, especially if it isn't dealt with at the time. So the things that can present later in life that you can experience as an adult, I'm going to give you three typical ways that this bullying can show up, the long-term effects of this childhood bullying. So it can show up as a low, persistent mood. This is a habitual state of being coming from this experience of childhood when no one was on their side. Is that you? Can you understand what I mean by that low, persistent mood? It feels like you're constantly trying to push something ahead, having to work at feeling good enough, or just feeling anything other than that is not your natural state of being. This low mood tends to be a natural state of being, and that can be incredibly hard work. So you have to make an effort to not be in that low, persistent mood. Another way that it can show up is with a critical inner voice. So there are many reasons why you can have a critical inner voice, but bullying in childhood is a big one, and it is to do with the experience that you had and that repetition that's playing in your mind. But it's when no one was there for you, when it to that child that wasn't able to open up about things, that didn't have safe people that they could share this experience with. Maybe the caregivers and parents around them were very busy. Maybe they were oblivious. Maybe they just didn't see what was going on, and for whatever reason, when you're young, you didn't let that be known to the people around you, and they couldn't help you. But that doesn't help you to. So the long-term effect of that is that this critical inner voice can develop. And another way that can manifest later in life is just not feeling good enough, not feeling that you can have the things in life you want, and particularly not feeling that you belong anywhere. Does that sound familiar to you? The identity that you don't fit in, you can't be yourself. You don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, and you have lots of self-doubts. So that's a way that it can manifest. The three main ways that I've seen with many clients that childhood bullying can have this long-term effect, and how it can show up, how it manifests in the day-to-day life. And so what can you do about this persistent low mood, about the critical inner voice, about feeling that you don't belong, you can't be your authentic self, you don't really know what your authentic self is, and these persistent self-doubts, lots of self-doubts, doubts about yourself, doubts about others, doubts about the world being a supportive place. And that's where that unsafety comes from, that feeling of not feeling secure, not feeling safe. So what can you do? The first thing is to notice that this is there, and start to identify and connect back how the way you're feeling now is related to what happened when you were young. And what happened when you were young, you can't change what has happened in the past. But it's now for you to find a way to be fully with yourself, to really connect to those feelings, those sensations within you, and really be with them. And so what does that mean? It means saying out loud to yourself what you are feeling, what you are experiencing, what those thoughts are, what the doubts are, and notice them. not to identify with them, but to notice them. And this helps to create some distance between you and those thoughts. Another way to work with that is to work with a professional who can help you. That is something I have worked with many times, and it has great outcomes. Sometimes it completely goes, sometimes it is so much reduced, so much less, and you know how to cope with things in the moments when something comes up. So there is so much room for improvement on how that is, and there's varying degrees to how it works for people. But just knowing that can change makes so many people feel immediately better. Just knowing that it is possible, and that how you're feeling now, what you're experiencing now, it is connected back to that time. And while you can't change what happened when you were younger, you can change how you're affected by it now, how you're affected by it tomorrow, how you're affected by that from now on, so that you can really connect to yourself, and so that you can connect to the part of you that feels those feelings, so that you can find resources within you and know how to cope, how to manage, how to really change that, so that that feeling is transformed. You can start having a different daily experience of yourself, of life, of your expectations. And when you change that, things begin to transform. You show up differently. How you feel inside shows up differently. And other people begin to show up differently. I hope this helps. And if you know anyone who has mentioned some childhood bullying, you feel that what they're going through now is connected, please share this with them. If you know anyone with a persistent low mood, if you know anyone with a harsh, critical inner voice, share this with them, because it can help to turn things around. Just knowing that something can change can be the beginning of allowing it to change, making different connections. It helps you to feel resourceful. It lets you know that there is hope, that there is help, and that's a very different feeling to that feeling of helplessness or hopelessness, which is one of the things that goes with the childhood bullying. That helplessness, that hopelessness, that little child that didn't have that assistance, that security, that safe person that they could speak to, that they could get help from. And that can continue into adulthood, that feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. And just knowing that it's possible to change that really starts to change. And it only needs to be a small shift, a very small beginning of change on a long path, has a very different trajectory. So please share this with someone if you know that they have experienced childhood bullying and they're still affected by it. Thank you.